three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin.
Year 2 tipped off, and the WNBA wasted no time bringing fireworks. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, the rivalry everyone wanted, and this clash delivered on every ounce of hype. Records fell, a triple-double shook the box score, and the so-called gap between the two. At this point, it's not a gap, it's a canyon. Clark didn't just show up to hoop, she came to prove she owns this matchup. From the opening whistle, she was fearless, embracing contact, earning foul calls, and sinking free throws with ice in her veins. Reese tried to answer with her trademark trash talk, but it fizzled quickly. She pulled up for a three, weak release, soft miss. Clark fired right back but clanked one short. Reese shifted gears, attacking the rim, only to be stuffed at the basket. Clark grabbed the rebound, pushed in transition, but her layup spun out. No matter, she adjusted, firing and finally connecting. Then came the slick dimes, threading needles through defenders, though her Fever teammates weren't quite ready for her rocket passes. On defense, Clark locked in, walling off Reese every time she tried to bully her way inside. Still, Indiana needed someone to finish the gems Clark was serving, and finally Lexi Hull caught the rhythm, cashing in. Reese responded, suddenly heating up from deep, dropping threes with something to prove. But that only lit a fire under Clark, who cranked it up another gear to remind everyone whose floor it really was. Then came the cheap shot, Reese shoving Aaliyah Boston in the face, a desperate attempt to disrupt the Fever's chemistry. The crowd gasped, but Clark never flinched. She kept the offense humming, her connection with Boston looking untouchable, as if they were running their own private two-player clinic.
More of that from her, catching around that 15-foot area. Clark,
put it! The first logo bomb of the season from Caitlin Clark.
At one point, Clark looked like she was levitating, pulling up for bold shots that had fans holding their breath. Sure, a couple of her fast break passes were a little ambitious for her veteran teammates, but nobody cared once she delivered what the crowd came for, pure electricity. By halftime, Indiana had stretched the lead to 13, and the Fever weren't slowing down. They smelled blood and were ready to feast. Clark began flexing her full playmaking bag, the no-look passes, the sneaky feeds, the dazzling setups. Even when she missed a layup, Aaliyah Boston was there to clean it up, locked in like a superstar on a mission. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was still struggling just to get the ball to fall. Indiana seized full control, with Clark dictating the tempo, stretching the lead, and making it crystal clear who owned the floor. But then, the third quarter flipped the script. Chicago buried a three, and Reese got reckless, shoving Nalissa Smith in the back on a rebound. No whistle. The fans were furious.
Much pace. It's where Caitlin Clark excelled a season ago.
Angel Reese dives in and finishes through the
Clark tried to stop the fast break with a simple take foul, but Reese took it personally, puffing her chest and turning it into something much bigger. After review, the refs hit Clark with a flagrant for shoving Angel after the whistle, the most controversial call of the night. Both players tried to downplay it afterward, brushing it off as a common foul, but let's be real, that pot had been boiling for a while, and this was the spark that blew it open. Clark stormed out of the gate after that, already sitting on 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, and you could feel it in the arena, something legendary was brewing. With her teammates flying in transition, everything started clicking. Clark smelled blood and attacked Reese at every opportunity. Whether it was pulling up from deep or slicing through traffic, she made it clear Angel couldn't guard her. And when the double teams came, it only gave Caitlin a chance to show off her vision, zipping cross-court lasers to wide-open shooters. Meanwhile, Reese tried to respond with her usual antics, barking at the refs after every miss.
Howard comes away with it. Here is Clark. Clark beating Boston, who can't finish. Lexi Hull comes in, grabs the rebound. She said, well, I know you guys love it. Oh, what a pass from
Reese
Clark.
kept waving her arms like the calls were owed to her, but the crowd wasn't buying it. Boos rained down as Clark kept cashing buckets. Then came the dagger sequence. Clark drilled a 3 right in Reese's face, turned and clapped her hands, and on the very next possession picked her clean, hitting Boston in stride for an easy bucket. The building erupted. It felt like the roof was about to come off. Indiana's lead ballooned past 20, while Reese looked frustrated, gassed, and out of answers. Clark, on the other hand, was glowing, feeding off the chaos, stacking the stat sheet, and proving in real time why she's already rewriting the WNBA script. By the fourth quarter, this wasn't just a game anymore, it was a showcase. Clark was just 1 rebound and a couple of assists shy of a triple-double, and you could feel the arena buzzing every single time she touched the ball. Every pass, every shot, every defensive stand carried weight, as if the crowd knew they were watching history unfold.
And the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range, is good. Boston gives it back. Clark to Boston, her jumper is good.
Reese, meanwhile, was spiraling. The frustration boiled over, hands on her hips, barking at teammates, glaring at refs, throwing her arms after every whistle. Then came the breaking point. After missing a layup, she smacked the stanchion in pure anger while Clark calmly jogged back, smirking like she already knew the night was hers. Moments later, Clark gave the crowd the highlight they'd been waiting for, a filthy step-back 3 that splashed so clean the arena erupted. Reese tried to clap back with a drive, but Boston sent it right back into her chest, igniting another fever-fast break run to perfection. Indiana's chemistry was on full display, and the scoreboard showed no mercy. With the margin stretching into blowout territory, all eyes shifted to Clark's stat line. The question wasn't if she'd get the triple-double, it was how flashy she'd make it look. She already had the points. She already had the assists. All she needed was 1 more rebound, and the Fever faithful were ready to explode the moment it happened.
Here's Clark, 4 seconds left. Clark fires. You bet! Clark drills the 3 to end the second.
On the other end, Reese was desperate to flip the narrative, but nothing worked. She forced a layup through traffic, got swatted again, and when she hit the floor looking for a foul, the refs just waved it off. The boos and cheers mixed into pure chaos, half the arena fired up, the other half stunned. Then came the moment. A long rebound kicked out, Clark snatched it, and the place went ballistic. Triple-double secured. She cracked the slightest grin, pointed to the crowd, and went right back to work like it was just another possession. Cold-blooded. Reese tried to answer with a mid-range jumper, bricked it, and Clark instantly turned it into showtime, firing a full-court dime to Hull for the easy finish. It was insult layered on top of injury, and the crowd loved every second of it. At that point, it wasn't even a contest, it was Caitlin Clark rewriting the script in real time while Reese was left in the wreckage. Clark wasn't just playing, she was putting on a masterclass. Every number on her stat line kept climbing, and the Fever were running like a machine built around her game. The scoreboard wasn't just tilted, it was downright embarrassing.
And the building is up for grabs. Clark gets it back from Boston. Now bounces to her. Boston drops it in.
Indiana was making it look easy while Clark stuffed the stat sheet like she was playing a video game. Reese looked finished, the confidence, the trash talk, the swagger, all gone. She was dragging up the court, glaring at teammates, and when the cameras caught her mouthing off in frustration, the internet instantly had its next meme. The so-called rivalry. It wasn't even close anymore. Clark had officially turned it into domination. Then came the exclamation point. Clark buried another 3, and the crowd lost its mind, the Fever bench jumping out of their seats before the ball even splashed through the net. That was the kind of shot you take when you know nobody can touch you, and she drilled it without hesitation. Every possession felt like history piling up. The records, the highlights, the message, they all screamed the same thing: Caitlin Clark owns this matchup, and there's nothing Angel Reese can do about it.
Here's Clark. Here's Clark. Firing and hitting. 20 points for Caitlin Clark.
The closing minutes turned into a full-blown highlight reel for Caitlin Clark. Every touch had the crowd buzzing, every move another dagger. With Reese still pressing, desperate to salvage some pride, Clark turned it into her own personal showcase, a steal here, a deep three there, a no-look dime that left defenders spinning. Reese tried one last push, muscling her way inside, but Boston wasn't having it, swatting her shot clean. Clark immediately flipped the floor, dribbled into space, and pulled up from way beyond the arc, drilling it like it was nothing. The crowd erupted. That was the kill shot. Indiana's bench went wild, waving towels and laughing, knowing the game was buried for good. Reese could only shake her head, her night collapsing, while Clark stood tall, fully in control. The so-called rivalry had become a statement game, and it wasn't Angel making it. When the buzzer sounded, the scoreboard read blowout, but the story ran deeper. Clark didn't just win. She dismantled her rival on the biggest stage yet. This was her night, her league, her era. And Angel Reese was just another victim caught in the storm.
And Dewana Bonner sits alone in third place on the all-time WNBA score count. There it is! A triple-double for Caitlin Clark. The third of her career. And she starts 2025.
When the dust settled, the numbers told the story. Clark finished with a monster triple-double, 34 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. That's not just filling the stat sheet, that's rewriting it. Fans roared like they had just witnessed history, and social media instantly went nuclear. Meanwhile, Angel Reese limped out with a stat line that looked more like a footnote than a fight, double-digit attempts, clanked shots, frustration fouls, and body language that screamed defeat. Commentators couldn't help but point it out, this rivalry was supposed to be neck and neck, but Clark made it look like varsity versus JV. Clips of her filthy step-back three, the no-look dime to Boston, and the rebound that sealed her triple-double spread like wildfire across the internet.
Harassed by Carrington. Carrington finds Boston. Clark gets hit in the face by Carrington and is instead.
By the time Caitlin Clark hit the post-game podium, her name was trending worldwide as fans hailed it as one of the coldest performances the WNBA has ever seen, while Angel Reese's night went viral for all the wrong reasons, the shove, the meltdown, and the endless complaints to the refs. One star walked out bigger than ever, the other looking exposed. The question now is whether this is even a rivalry anymore, or if Clark just slammed the door shut on that narrative by dropping a triple-double on Reese, shattering records, and turning what was supposed to be a clash of equals into a one-sided showcase. Debate is everywhere. Did the refs let Reese get away with too much? Was Clark disrespected with that flagrant call, or was this simply proof that no amount of antics can match pure skill when the lights are brightest? Fans are split, media is in a frenzy, and both names are blowing up timelines for completely different reasons. Clark being celebrated as the future of the league, calm under pressure and lethal with the ball, while Reese is catching heat for frustration, excuses, and body language that scream defeat.